this. No, 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 you mongoloid. There's something here. The sea here is vast and smooth as shiny glass, jumping up and down. Little Yuka shouts and points at purport at a pale pillar of luminous Adra rising from beneath the surface of the water. Beardall takes you closer. Much of the stone is encrusted with coral. Visible portions coil above the water in long, looping spirals. Adra normally grows in large pillars, but this formation is almost like 7 tentacles of some terrible sea monster grasping for the sky. Swanisi whistles low. So old. Had to be in with him. And we get some moral from this. Even they could do that. That's Undra's slow, steady work. Even at night, Yara shimmers, glowing from within, casting a ghostly light across the surface of the sea. Indeed, it's hard to tell whether the Yadra's strange contours are shaped by slow wear of the sea or distorted by it. Something about that ambiguity makes the vision all the more extraordinary. The rest of the crew chimes in, debating the wonders, meaning, origin, in low, awed voices. Now we've seen it, let's move on, shall we? Well, there's no way to know where it came from. Enjoy it for whatever it is. Easy nods, while old Ingram murmurs a quiet prayer. The remainder of the crew nods and return to their duties. Beardall sails past the Adra, maintaining a safe distance. Little Yuka and Eld Ingram move to the aft castle, eyes locked on the Teotora marble until it disappears below the horizon. We've seen another thing.
The ring of a bell comes to you on a cold wind.
Well, that's great.
The ring comes again and again, until soon the air is full with the sound of 1,000 bells ringing all at once.
Is it morning already? Because that sounds a lot like my alarm clock assortment.
You feel a resonance in your core.
Bling,
A bell ringing in
bling.
tune with all the others. Something in you bends, then breaks. And you are borne away on the ringing tide. Just another peal among the many.
That's not the nicest invitation I've ever gotten.
The tide of bells recedes. You lever yourself up onto your knees and realize you have been here before.
Yeah, obviously.
You stand in Bareth's realm.
Where else?
Are alone. And then you are not.
Well, great. All the gods have come once again to piss me off.
An indistinct figure stands before you, flickering between forms like a fire-cast shadow. A fixed, taunting grin. Bottomless black eyes. A yawning chasm in the earth. The aspects of Bareth, the Usher and the Pallid Knight, shift in and out of focus.
Nice.
And at their back, 4 indistinct shades hover. You feel an eternity stretch out behind each of them, reaching back to places so distant and yet so near.
I'm just anything
cannot
like, hey,
comprehend their size.
would you please not?
The shifting image of Bareth settles on the aspect of the Pallid Knight.
Well, at least something.
Watcher.
Ah,
Her
It's me,
voice
again.
is the discordant clangor of gongs struck out of time.
I tasked you to discover Aethis's intentions. Tell me what you have learned.
He's jumping around to that fire, yanking up souls like a giant Aros soul magnet. I can't follow us around if you keep bringing me a song into the fucking beyond whatever the wimp is. Which is a fucking good point. Also, I have quite a bit of a negative impression of you gods. You know, mostly for being assholes. But, it is indeed too early to be sure what he plans. But it is suspicious.
I remind you of our bargain. Time is short, and your soul dangles in the balance.
Yeah, screw you, I'm still going to take my pleasure cruise around the fucking Deathfire archipelago. Fuck you.
Her wan face contorts into what on mortal kith might be called a smile.
Well, nice.
On her, the effect is more akin to a rotting pumpkin caving in upon itself.
That sounds splendidly pleasing to the eye.
Do not give me cause to doubt your commitment, Watcher.
You know, if you could stop pulling me back every bloody fucking 5 seconds, I could probably get some of the shit done.
The figure nearest Bareth dissolves and reforms in the image of a thin-lipped, ancient crone whose face has felt the melting kiss of fire.
So basically, you look ugly as fuck. As everybody else does, apparently.
The goddess Wodica strides
Oh god, that
forward.
bitch again. Fuck you.
Does Aethys frighten you, Bareth? He should. Magran subdued Aethys' influence once before, and yet he returned.
Yeah, nobody cares.
From out of Wodica's shadow shuffles a hunched, bald man you recognize as the god Scan.
Oh yeah, that one.
His skin is mapped with swollen lash scars.
The one
Breath
for
whistles
slaves
through
and
the ragged
rebellion.
hole in his face, where his nose once was.
Mhm.
He does not speak, but stares up at Wodica, with naked loathing plain on his ruined face.
He's like, I don't like you, bitch. You get a bit annoying here.
Wodica steeples her long, knob-jointed fingers.
We must annihilate Aethys now, before he makes a rash decision we cannot easily annul.
And just
She
because you
casts
want
a
it, I
sly
don't
look
even...
at the pallid night from the corners of her eyes.
You know, if you could stop bickering in front of me like the idiots you are, and then, you know, show some unity, I might actually take you seriously. But I don't. I mean, look at this. This is fucking... it showcases very much why the gods are just not actually real gods.
A moon would do the job nice.
Yeah, not that again, please. I had some trouble going and navigating it. Given your relationship with the moon, I don't wonder what to prove of that plan. No. Or like, I'm pretty sure we need that.
A voice echoes from the shape nearest Bareth.
The lava is too large to be moved, and Koltha too quick to be caught. Even for a god of Wodica's strength and apparent lunacy.
The figure beside the aspect of Bareth flows forward in a swirling cloud of ash.
Hey, Magran. How have you been lately? Have you heard of a priest boy, going by the name of Durance? He's very much seeking out for a way to get to you. And, you know, he's probably going to punch you in the face. Multiple times, with a fucking god hammer.
The ash falls to the tiles and reveals a molten-skinned woman, leaning on a monstrous, wicked-edged broadsword.
Yeah, could you people maybe stop having giant weapons that kind of scares me?
Magran's glowing lips curl in disdain.
We must find a solution to the problem of Aethys that is neither do nothing, nor destroy the world.
Well, that is easy, then just do something. See, I just solved all of your problems.
I
And
acted
could...
in haste during the Saints' War. You will not goad me into doing the same now. To move against him while his plans are unknown would be the height of foolishness. We must find wisdom in precaution.
Sure, great idea. Can I go now?
The pallid knight tilts her head to the side and gives you the long-suffering, narrow-eyed look of a parent dealing with a particularly disappointing child.
Oh, please, you're not my parents and I don't care if I disappoint you. I actually have things to do. You might be sitting here in the fucking universe and discussing, humans, masturbatory fetishes or something. Sure, that's all up to you. You have all the time in the world. I am immortal. I have things to do.
No.
Ah, for fuck's sake.
Another of the silent figures steps forward, and the warm, golden light of a summer's afternoon spills across your face.
Hi, Leah, I suppose.
Let's all take a deep,
Sure.
calming breath. Perhaps cooler heads will prevail.
Behind Helia's words, you hear the soft coo of doves.
See, and this is why nothing gets done. The gods waste time, and even more time. The world is ending at some point, you know?
Aethys has been separated from us for too long. Isn't it possible he intends only to gather enough souls to reclaim his realm in the beyond? He should be welcomed.
Well, maybe just fucking tell him that.
You look up then into avian eyes. Through them, you see clouds of starlings converge and divide.
Well, but what if he intends to betray you? That's actually a very good question. I don't think he's much pleased with you.
Helia puts a feathered hand to her chest.
He wouldn't. Betrayal is not in his nature.
Scan shuffles forward.
Yes, yes. We should welcome Aethys' return to the fold. His gratitude we can leverage to cajole him into divulging his plot.
I don't think he's going to be that stupid.
Then, when he believes himself to be in our good graces, we do as Wedica suggests, and crush him into the earth.
Sounds nasty.
Scan pauses, inspecting you.
Ah, and here is the Watcher who killed Lord Harren. The man who tormented his dear niece, Alice. Curious.
That was actually not very curious. He was a very, very bad man who did very horrible things to his niece, and I murdered him for it. It's not hard to understand.
Scan licks the ragged edge of his lipless
In case you've
mouth
forgotten, that
and
was it, that small village.
then turns to Helia.
And we had some, you know. We looked for it, we found her in the cult, we murdered the cult, and we found out that she had good reason to run away from home. Very good reasons.
I did not expect such a deliciously ruthless idea from you, Helia. I am impressed.
I'm pretty sure she didn't thought that far.
Helia's feathered crest stands on end.
You wretched little creature.
Let's see where this is going
Pallid
then.
Knight gestures for silence.
Well, just as me.
Aethys cannot be killed, but he may be subdued. Yet to do so will take immense power and time.
And of course none of you are actually going to do that because, well... Am I really expecting the gods to do anything? Oh right. Do excuse me, you aren't really gods, you're just very old beings that found a way to get very powerful.
Both stand in his favor.
Magran grits her black glass teeth.
That is why we must ascertain his plans before he has the chance to put them into motion.
And then why don't you just go down and ask him nicely? Like, hey, here's us. What you planning?
She begins to pace. Her steps leave little trails of fire in her wake.
Ah, well, of course. Why make it, you know, easy when you can make it a complicated million-step journey?
Magran stops and balls her hands into flaming fists.
Oh look, the child doesn't get what it wants. Now it's getting annoyed.
Even if we manage to destroy his current form, there is the possibility he could return, if he has not already absorbed all of his children.
All of his children, do you mean he actually was, you know, active? A sec.
The Pallid Knight casts a cold, cutting glare in Magran's direction.
Magran speaks too freely. That knowledge is beyond your ken, Watcher.
That nonsense again. At least fucking tell me stuff.
Wodica waves the gods to silence.
Aethys gathers strength. His strength is a threat to us.
Yes, and I am apparently your best chance to do something about it, and you leave me in the dark.
Her
That's
voice
great.
takes on a sharp, almost panicked edge.
There is no sensible answer to the question of a resurgent Aethys other than decisive, final action.
I guess I'm just going to be
We
silent
will
about
act
this.
when it is appropriate to do so, and not before.
Pallid Knight steps away from the half-circle of assembled gods. She pulls herself up to a great height.
Oh, trying to be impressive, eh?
The words she speaks next come not from her mouth, but from all around you.
Follow him, Watcher.
Yeah, I was about to do that until you fucking interrupted me.
The black of the Pallid Knight's irises expand until her eyes are as dark and cold as the void between stars. She bends down and brings her ghostly face level with your own.
That would be fucking scary because a giant fucking face is in front of me with a mouse that can probably just suck me in like... Gone.
Your debt to me remains unpaid.
Hey, you do know that I only do this because I must.
She stares at you, unblinking. Like a needle drawn to a magnet, you are pulled toward her one compulsory step at a time.
Yes, because I quite literally don't have a choice, and that is all and the only reason why I'm actually helping
Helpless to
bitches.
resist, you tumble into her impossible eyes.
Okay, can I at least draw my sword and poke her in the eye,
You
please?
fall wildly, endlessly, unable to find your bearings or slow your spin.
Well, apparently not.
And in the distance, above, no, behind you, comes an insistent ringing.
Well, time to wake up again.
Angle yourself toward it, searching for the sound. A small silver bell appears just inches from your fingertips. You reach for it, straining to still its interminable ringing. The moment you touch it, your soul slams into your body with all the force of a fall from the top of the sky. You blink open your eyes and find yourself on the floor of your ship's cabin. Alone.
That sort of experience is going to murder me at some point. It's also probably not going to feel well. It's like, I have to get naked for this? Yeah. What is my character thinking? Like, yes, I'm going to swim in my full plate armor. Go to the water and strip down. You shrunk off your bright rusted clothes and lay your belongings on the rocks. My Roger, sure I mean, well, it's, good luck. Red-faced, Shodi clears her throat behind her fist. She doesn't break her stare. Could you stop staring at me, woman? I mean, to be fair, I'm a woman too, so it's not really much of... Yeah, that's not... A spring of stone and crash into the cool, crisp salt water with the other swimmers. You kick against the powerful current, expertly reaching one hand after the other to pull yourself through the water. Parting it like a knife, the others fall behind. One of the Aruna, you notice, struggles to remain in the pack. No, he's struggling just to stay above water, his desperate grasp carried down the channel. Keep swimming for the goal. You swim on, noticing the muscular built woman break away to head back for the struggling swimmer. The goal looms closer. A final burst of muscle-straining speed. You push well ahead, crossing the goal several strokes ahead of the closest competition. Panting and itching, you put yourself onto the shore, walk back towards the bridge to collect your belongings. The people on the bridge above cheer and applaud. The master of ceremony smiles warmly at you. Ngati favors you. She will expect much in return. She presses a small object into your hands. And for you, in honor of your victory. Ring of unshackling. Diddle-dum-dum. The crowd on the bridge sins and the commotion dies down. Your journey continues.